If you watch my Create User Accounts training video, you know that you can create many different user accounts for those who want to have access to the same computer here. That way they can log in under their own different username and password and not be able to have access to your files and folders, and vice versa. You can't see what they're doing or have access to it, unless of course you're an administrator, in which case you can blast your way through. In any case, as you recall, when it comes to setting up those accounts or viewing how many accounts have already been created on this computer, just come down here and click on the Start button, go to the Control panel, and then come up here and click on Add or Remove User Accounts. And you can see on my computer I have 3 of them set up. Well, the 4th one here is the guest account, but it's currently turned off. So I have a user login name for Kershaw and a password separate from training, and then separate from Dreamforce. So let me close out. If I want to go ahead and share just this exercises folder with just those users who are logged in under a different username and account on the same computer here, I'm not talking about the network, just users on the same computer, then all you have to do is go ahead and right click on the file or folder and go to Share With, and then come over and down. We're going to skip this because we haven't covered the home group yet, in which case you want to watch the home group training video so you know what we're doing here, but we're going to bypass that and come down and click on Specific People. And here you can see that, well, the owner of this folder that created the folder is me. I logged in under the training account, and then I gave permission to Kershaw, the other account user on the same computer. If I want to go ahead and give access to the Dreamforce account, I can just come up here, click on the drop down arrow, and it will list all the accounts that have been created on this computer. There's Dreamforce. Go ahead and select it, click Add, and then down below I can set the permission level. By default it's set to read only. So Dreamforce can go ahead and look and see what's inside the folder and read all the files within it. But if I want them to not only read but to make changes to any files, the text or the contents therein, click on the drop down arrow and go to Read Write. Of course, also when you click on the drop down arrow, we can remove Kershaw. So now we eliminated the Kershaw account from having access to this folder and gave Dreamforce access, but also not only the ability to read but write or make any changes to the files within that folder. To finish this, go ahead and click Share. And then it says up here, if you want to email somebody to let them know that you're sharing this folder, go ahead and click on the link and email them. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and click Done. And that's it. Now for that person or those other accounts to be able to access this folder, it's the same as the previous training video that we learned how to access share folders on the network, because this folder now is going to be on the network, at least for the other users that log in onto this computer. And as you recall, to access the network, you just have to go ahead and open up the network folder, or just open up any folder like the exercises, because over here in the navigation pane you have the network folder. Click on it, and then they're all on the same computer, Dreamforce. Just double click on that, and then what they would do is they would drill down. So in other words, we're going to go ahead and find all the users on this computer, double click on Users, and as you recall, there's the Dreamforce account, Kershaw account, and training. Now if I was logged in under Dreamforce and I want to access the training account and find the shared folder that's available under the training, I would double click Training, and then I would go to the desktop, and then on the desktop here are all the files and folders that are shareable. Well, because I'm logged in as training and I'm going down through my own training folder here, then I have access to everything. Okay. In any case, they would then go to the exercises folder, double click, open it up, and then just go ahead and wreak havoc upon my files if I allowed them to be able to make changes or write with any of these files. Otherwise, I'd set them to read only, in which case they can just open up a file, double click, and only be able to read it, not make any changes to it. I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And then of course, if you don't want to share the entire contents of a folder like exercises, but just a file within it, go ahead and right click on that file, just follow the same steps, go down to Share With, and then of course over and down to Specific People. Of course there's me, the owner, and all the other accounts that are available on this computer are set up to have access to it. You can go ahead and click on the drop down arrow and set the permissions to read only or remove them completely, but be sure when you're done, go ahead and click Share and follow the wizard to close it out. Now when you click on the drop down arrow, in addition to the accounts that were set up on this computer, Dreamforce, Kershaw, and Training, you have Guest, which means that if you have it turned on and you have somebody that wants to use your computer, as you recall in the Create User Accounts training video, you can go ahead and just turn on the guest user account and not have to fuss with much, in which case if you want to share files or folders with the guest account, well, there it is. And then below that you have Everyone. Well, if you say everyone, that means not just people or accounts that were set up on this computer, but we're talking about everybody on this computer and throughout the network. Everybody else whose computer is attached or hooked up to the network. So that is the next training video, and it's a great segue.
Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for all my training, please visit me at my website, dreamforce.us.